Arrested in connection with the overdose death of Brooklyn-born actor Michael K. Williams.
From the music world, R&B legend D'Angelo
Our members of the hip-hop community are mourning the shocking death of well-known Port Arthur rapper Pimp C.
Can you imagine the painful feeling of having it all? Fame, wealth, and millions of fans, and then losing it all in the blink of an eye? Today we'll dive deep into the stories of 15 African-American singers whose rise to stardom turned into a heartbreaking fall because of addiction. Make sure you stay with us till the very end, because the last story will leave you completely speechless. And of course, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel X Hollywood Mistakes, and let's begin this emotional journey together. 1. DMX, Earl Simmons. Earl Simmons, known worldwide as DMX, was one of the most influential rappers of his generation, famous for his raw, powerful lyrics and unforgettable performances. He had millions of fans and countless awards. Despite his legendary status, his life was haunted by addiction. DMX's career started in 1985 when he was a beatboxer for local rapper Reddy Ron. Inspired by the world of hip-hop, he adopted the name DMX, which stood for Divine Master of the Unknown, later also called Darkman X. His struggles with drugs began early. In a 2020 interview, DMX revealed he first used cocaine after being tricked into smoking a drug-laced cigarette. This led to years of battling addiction, multiple stints in rehab, and repeated relapses. Tragically, on April 2, 2021, DMX suffered a heart attack caused by a combination of stimulants, alcohol, and infections. After days of organ failure, he passed away at 50. His story remains one of the most heartbreaking examples of how addiction can destroy a person's life. 2. Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston, one of the most iconic voices in music history, had a career filled with awards, fame, and millions of record sales. Known for her flawless vocals, she influenced generations of artists. However, her life off stage was tragic. In the late 1980s and 1990s, she began displaying erratic behavior, hinting at substance abuse. On February 11, 2012, Houston was found dead in a bathtub at the Beverly Hilton Hotel. The coroner reported that her death was due to drowning, with heart disease and cocaine use as contributing factors. Despite her immense talent and success, Whitney's story reminds us of the destructive power of addiction and the pressure that comes with fame. 3. Rick James. Rick James rose to fame in the late 1970s and became a music icon with his unique blend of funk, R&B, and rock. Hits like You and I made him a household name. But behind the glitz and energy of his performances, James struggled with drugs and alcohol. What started as recreational use escalated into full-blown addiction. He admitted to spending thousands of dollars weekly on substances. Over time, his health declined, leading to strokes, diabetes, and heart attacks. On August 6, 2004, he passed away at 56. His story is a painful reminder that success and talent cannot shield someone from the dangers of addiction. 4. Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson is now known as one of the highest-grossing actors of all time, but his early years were difficult. In the late 1970s, Jackson struggled with alcohol and drug use to cope with depression and financial pressures. His addiction affected both his personal life and career. In 1991, after being found unconscious at home, Jackson finally sought help and went through rehab. Overcoming his addiction, he became a Hollywood legend. But he has admitted that drugs and alcohol had initially hindered his career and potential. Thank Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye, the king of soul, faced a tragic life behind his smooth vocals and iconic songs. Introduced to cocaine in the 1960s, his addiction worsened over the years. Alongside drugs, Gaye battled depression and anxiety. His paranoia escalated to the point where he wore a bulletproof vest, fearing harm even from those close to him. On April 1, 1984, during a heated argument, Marvin was tragically shot by his father. His life and career remain a reminder of how addiction and mental health struggles can intersect with tragedy. 6. Lamar Odom. Lamar Odom, a talented NBA player, was celebrated for his time with the Los Angeles Lakers, winning championships in 2009 and 2010, but despite his on-court success, Odom struggled with substance abuse for years. In 2015, Odom suffered a near-fatal overdose at a Nevada brothel, experiencing kidney failure, multiple heart attacks, and strokes. This event ended both his career and marriage. showing how addiction can destroy even the most promising lives. 7. Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor, one of the most influential comedians, entertained millions, but privately battled severe drug and alcohol addiction. By the late 1970s, Pryor's addiction led to erratic behavior, strained relationships, and multiple health problems, including 3 heart attacks. His wife revealed that addiction had become his lover, controlling his life. Despite his success, Pryor passed away in 2005, leaving behind a legacy of laughter shadowed by personal struggles. 8. T.I. Clifford Harris Jr. T.I., the Atlanta-born rapper and actor, became one of the most influential voices in hip-hop in the 2000s. Known for hits like What You Know and Live Your Life, T.I.'s talent and charisma brought him fame, wealth, and legions of fans. However, behind the success, he struggled with addiction. In 2010, following dental surgery, T.I. began using prescription painkillers. What started as a method to cope with physical pain quickly escalated into a serious dependency. Over the years, the addiction affected both his personal life and professional career. Legal troubles, public incidents, and the pressures of maintaining his image as a star weighed heavily on him. Fortunately, T.I. was able to confront his struggles, complete rehabilitation, and turn his experiences into advocacy. Today, he actively speaks out on the importance of rehabilitation over punishment, especially in the African-American community, demonstrating that even from deep struggles, one can find purpose and help others. 9. Michael K. Williams. Michael K. Williams, a gifted actor known for his iconic role as Omar Little in The Wire and Albert Chalky, White in Boardwalk Empire, captivated audiences with his intense performances and emotional depth. Williams's career seemed full of promise, but he privately battled substance abuse. Immersing himself in characters entrenched in the drug world took a serious toll on his own mental and emotional health, gradually leading him into addiction. Williams openly admitted that coping with the pressures of fame and the heavy roles he played made it difficult to maintain balance in his life. Tragically, on September 6, 2021, he was found dead in his Brooklyn apartment from an overdose involving multiple substances. His untimely passing at 54 shocked fans and colleagues alike. Williams' story highlights how addiction can affect even the most talented and seemingly composed individuals, reminding us of the hidden battles behind the fame. 10. D'Angelo. D'Angelo, the Grammy-winning R&B and soul artist, became a household name in the mid-1990s. With albums like Brown Sugar and Voodoo, known for his smooth voice and innovative style, D'Angelo experienced massive success at a young age. However, the pressures of fame, public scrutiny, and relentless touring took a heavy toll on his mental health. Seeking an escape, he turned to alcohol and drugs, which eventually led to arrests and a near-fatal car accident in 2005. His addiction caused him to retreat from the public eye for nearly a decade. Despite these struggles, D'Angelo made a celebrated comeback in 2014 with the album Black Messiah, showing fans and the world that resilience and recovery are possible even after years of self-destruction. His story serves as a testament to the challenges of maintaining mental health and balance under intense public scrutiny. 11. Pimp C. Pimp C, one half of the legendary hip-hop duo UGK, was known for his deep voice, unique style, and contributions to Southern rap. Alongside his partner Bun B, Pimp C released groundbreaking albums like Too Hard to Swallow and Super Tight, influencing generations of artists. Despite his professional achievements, he struggled privately with substance abuse. The pressures of fame and the demanding nature of the music industry intensified his addiction, particularly to cough syrup. Tragically, on December 4, 2007, Pimp C was found unconscious in his West Hollywood hotel room and later pronounced dead. The cause was determined to be an overdose compounded by sleep apnea. His death at just 30 years old shocked the hip-hop community and underscored how untreated addiction can cut a promising life and career tragically short. 12. Nate Dogg. Nate Dogg, often called the King of Hooks, was known for his deep voice and unforgettable choruses that defined West Coast hip-hop. Hits like Regulate and collaborations with Snoop Dogg cemented his place in music history. However, behind the smooth melodies and chart-topping hits, Nate Dogg struggled with alcohol and drug abuse. His addiction began in his youth and continued throughout his career, affecting both his health and relationships. In 2007, he suffered a stroke but survived, only to experience another stroke in 2008. Tragically, on March 15, 2011, Nate Dogg passed away at 41 due to complications from multiple strokes and congestive heart failure. His story illustrates the long-term consequences of substance abuse, even for those whose voices brought joy to millions. 13. Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg, born Calvin Broadus Jr., became one of the most famous West Coast rappers and cultural icons. Known for his love of marijuana, Snoop's cannabis use became a signature part of his persona and branding. Unlike other stars on this list, Snoop has not faced life-threatening addiction. However, his story raises important discussions about the line between habitual use and dependency in celebrity culture. Throughout his career, Snoop promoted marijuana legalization and launched his own cannabis brand, Leafs by Snoop. While he openly jokes about smoking, he demonstrates how personal choices in substance use can intersect with public image, fame, and artistic identity. Snoop Dogg's journey is a reminder that celebrity culture can normalize substance use, for better or worse. Fjorton Lil Kim. Lil Kim, born Kimberly Denise Jones, broke barriers as one of the first female rappers to dominate hip-hop. Known for her bold persona and lyrics, she rose to fame in the 1990s alongside icons like Notorious B.I.G. However, her personal life was turbulent. Lil Kim began using drugs at the age of 14, entering a dangerous world of dealers and crime just to survive. Her addiction worsened after the death of Notorious B.I.G., and legal troubles, including a prison sentence for perjury, compounded her struggles. Even after serving time, the lingering effects of her addiction impacted her career, public image, and personal relationships. Lil Kim's story highlights how trauma, early exposure to drugs, and fame can create lasting challenges, even for the most talented and resilient artists. 15. Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill, one of the most influential artists of her generation, captivated audiences with her singing, rapping, and songwriting. With over 50 million albums sold globally, she became a role model for aspiring artists. However, Hill faced immense pressure to maintain her public image while managing the expectations of fans, media, and the music industry. In 2000, she withdrew from public life, displaying erratic behavior and showing signs of substance use. The stress of fame, relentless touring, and constant scrutiny took a heavy toll on her mental and emotional health. Despite these challenges, Hill remains highly respected in music history, illustrating that even legendary talent is vulnerable to personal struggles, stress, and addiction. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to X, Hollywood Mistakes, for more powerful stories like this. And hey, if another video is showing up on your screen right now, go check it out too. You'll definitely love it.